welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. My name is Terria. I help aspiring providers start adult day programs serving adults with intellectual disabilities. So today I want to talk about how much money is required to start these adult day programs. How much money do you need to have? How much money is the licensing department going to require to see as verification that you have enough working capital to sustain your adult day program while you're going through the licensing process? So let's talk about it. So you need two different streams of money, that you have available to you, that's accessible to you. You need your startup capital and you need your working capital. So, as far as your startup capital, and let me preface this with saying you need to do your financial projections. If you're not familiar with financial projections, I've done a ton of videos explaining what a financial projection is and why a financial projection is so important. So, in order to know your exact number that's required for you to start your adult day program, because everybody's number is going to look a little different depending on what type of services you're providing, how many individuals you plan on supporting, how many staff members you have on your team. So everybody's operating expenses, startup capital, working capital is going to look very, very different. So this is just a generalization of averaging how much you're going to need and what's going to be required in order to be approved for licensing. Okay, so your startup capital, you need between 50 to 75,000 in order to have set aside to get all of your equipment that you need, security deposits for your building, security deposits for lights, utilities, things of that nature. If you're looking at doing transportation, you'll need money set aside for startup so that you can have all your activities, building supplies, all of those things go under startup capital. Okay, so you need $50,000 to $75,000 just for your startup capital. Working capital. So your working capital, 3 months, at least 3 months of operating expenses that will be required. So whatever your rental expenses are each month, whatever your utility expenses are each month, gas, your payroll, different things of that nature will go under your operating expenses. So you do 1 month of figuring out how much will you need to operate your building every single month, and you do that times 3. Okay, that's why I say everybody's numbers will be different, but you just got to do the work, put in the put your numbers in and know what your numbers look like to know what's going to be required for your startup capital and your working capital. So as far as your working capital, you need between 150,000 to 250,000. Okay, so in total to start, if you're asking how much is going to be required to start my adult day program, it's going to be at least $200,000 to $325,000 to start your adult day program. So it's time to start looking into loans. It's time to start looking into investors. It's time to start looking into 401ks. It's time to start working on getting that money together so that you can have the money when it comes to licensing to show that you have enough working capital, you have enough startup capital to sustain your business while you're going through the process, because it's going to be required. You can't get away from that. So if you are somebody that needs help in figuring out how to obtain working capital and startup capital, how to do your financial projection and figure out what's required for your particular agency, I will attach a link below. Let's chat. That is something that I go over in my 12-week coaching program. I can definitely help you through the process, help you figure out if you meet the requirements or if you don't meet the requirements before you go through the licensing process, because you don't want to get denied after you've done all the work, because it'll take 12 months before you can reapply again. So let's chat. Let's see if my program is a good fit for you. See you guys next time. Bye.